King Nebuchadnezzar made a gold statue. It was 90 feet high and 9 feet wide. He set it up in the Dura Valley in the province of Babylon. King Nebuchadnezzar then ordered the chief administrators, ministers, governors, counselors, treasurers, judges, magistrates, and all the provincial officers assemble and come for the dedication of the statue that he had set up. They stood in front of the statue the king had set up, and the herald proclaimed loudly, "When you hear the sound of the horn, pipe, zither, lyre, harp, flute, and every other kind of instrument, you must bow down and worship the gold statue that King Nebuchadnezzar has set up. Anyone who will not bow down and worship will immediately be thrown into a furnace of flaming fire." Some of Nebuchadnezzar's officials found out that Daniel's friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, were refusing to bow to the statue or worship it because that would be a direct violation of God's law. In a violent rage, Nebuchadnezzar ordered them. They were brought before the king. Nebuchadnezzar said to them, "Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, is it true that you don't serve my gods or worship the gold statue I've set up?" Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered the king Nebuchadnezzar, "We don't need to answer your question. If our God, the one we serve, is able to rescue us from the furnace of flaming fire and from your power, your majesty, let him do it. Let him rescue us. But if he doesn't, know this for certain, your majesty, we will never serve your gods or worship the gold statue that you've set up." Nebuchadnezzar was filled with rage, his face twisted beyond recognition. He told some of the strongest men in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and throw them into the furnace of flaming fire. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were bound, still dressed in all their clothes, and thrown into the furnace of flaming fire. Now the king's command had been so rash, and the furnace was heated to such an extreme heat, that the fire's flame killed the very men who carried Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into it. And these three men fell, bound, into the furnace of flaming fire. Then King Nebuchadnezzar jumped up in shock and said to his associates, "Didn't we throw 3 men bound into the fire?" They answered the king, "Certainly, your majesty." He replied, "Look, I see 4 men, unbound, walking around inside the flames, and they aren't hurt. The 4th one looks like someone of the gods." And said, "Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, servants of God Most High, come out, come here." And Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came out of the fire. The chief administrators, ministers, governors, and the king's associates crowded to look at them. The fire hadn't done anything to them. Their hair wasn't singed, their garments looked the same as before, and they didn't even smell like smoke. Nebuchadnezzar declared, "May the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego be praised. He sent his messenger to rescue his servants who trusted him. They ignored the king's order, sacrificing their bodies because they wouldn't serve or worship any god but their own."